In my playbook tonight, can we stop all this crying foul over bonuses? What did you think Wall Street was going to do? I don't want to hear it anymore. But here's what the president had to say about it today.
I've always believed that our system of free enterprise works best when it rewards hard work. This is America. We don't disparage wealth. We don't begrudge anybody for doing well. We believe in success. But it does offend our values when executives of big financial firms that are struggling, pay themselves huge bonuses even as they continue to rely on taxpayer assistance to stay afloat.
It's about your conscience, isn't it? Of course they're paying themselves huge bonuses. The government gave them a lump sum of money and didn't tell them what to do with it. They just said, okay, go save yourself, okay, because we can't have you fail. You're too big to fail. This is how Wall Street operates. They're about making money. Now, I understand it's a moral issue. A lot of people are upset about it, but it's really ridiculous, I think, for the Obama administration to come out and start pointing fingers when it was the Bush administration and the Obama administration that didn't do the due diligence on this, on exactly where the money was going to go. Joining me now is David Walker, former U.S. Comptroller General. He is now the president and CEO of the Peter G. Peterson Foundation. Mr. Walker, good to have you with us tonight.
Good to be back with you.
You bet. What does it mean that these bonuses are taken away? Could it fundamentally change how Wall Street works and how profit could be put out to stockholders in these companies? What do you think?
Look, here's the big deal, Ed. You got it right. I mean, the Bush administration nor the Obama administration laid out clearly defined objectives, set out criteria as to who should get the money, what the conditions are for the money. There's no question that there's a problem with executive compensation. There's no question there ought to be some reasonable limits on executive compensation for people that are getting taxpayer money. But frankly, they don't make most of their money in base pay. They make it in equity compensation. And so you need to change the incentives, not just for those that are receiving assistance. We need to change incentives across the board, and that's the job of board of directors. That's what they're supposed to do.
And they, of course, are out there trying to make money, and unless they're regulated on how they're operating, it's going to be business as usual. So really, the Bush and Obama administration, they did what they had to do to save it, but they didn't give them any, marching orders on exactly, okay, this is how you're going to operate. So the fundamental question now is, once they get this straightened out, do you think, Mr. Walker, that the money will eventually come back to the Treasury and the taxpayer will be on the positive end of the deal on this because of the 5%? What do you think?
Well, I think that we're going to end up recovering part of our investment. There's no question. Do I think we're going to recover all of our investment? No, I don't. And do I think that that there ought to be some reasonable limits on compensation for people that are getting money from the taxpayers? Yes. But we've got a bigger problem. The bigger problem is executive comp overall. And in addition, we need to learn, if you're going to pass out a bunch of money, you need to have clearly defined objectives, criteria, and conditions established up front. We didn't do it.
No.
We need to do it in the future.
That's right. Okay, now yesterday the president came out and is allocating TARP money to community banks. He wants to stimulate job growth and create jobs in this country. Do you think that this is a formula that can work? The TARP money going to community banks at 3% to hopefully create jobs. Will this work?
It's hard to say. I mean, do they have conditions? Do they have criteria? Do they have clearly defined objectives? Are they measurable on an outcome basis? Are the people that are getting the money, do they need the money? Do they want the money? What's the answer to these questions? I don't know.
Good to have you with us, Mr. Walker. I appreciate your time tonight.
Good to see you.
You bet.